Got all static.
What's going on, everybody? This is your man, Dr. John C. Turner, aka the Professor JT, and I got some heavy hitters on for you today. I am so excited. Been waiting on this one a very long time to bring you the DMPs of Color organization. And I'm not going to lie to you, these doctors of nursing practice are doing some amazing work. And so, without further ado, let me introduce to you the founder and the president of DMPs of Color, Dr. Danielle McCamey. Welcome to the Doc Chat. Hey, if you're checking us out as well, make sure you let us know you're checking out the Doc Chat. If you're part of DMPs of Color, say hello. If you have your doctorate degree, if you're looking to get your doctorate degree, holla at these great folks. We also got Dr. Janice Linton and Dr. Dwayne. Alleyne, I'm telling you right now, if you know somebody that needs to become a DMP or is interested in nursing altogether, this is the show for you, the Doc Chat right now. So without further ado, Dr. Danielle McCamey, welcome to the Doc Chat. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Dr. Danielle McCamey, founder, president, CEO of DMPs of Color in the house. So excited to be here tonight. Thank you, Dr. JT, for inviting us to share some of our energy and share the stage. I am, for those that don't know me, I'm an acute care nurse practitioner by training. My day job, I'm the assistant dean for clinical practice and relationships at Johns Hopkins School of Nursing. But my love is with DMPs of Color. As y'all know, I'm the founder. Throw it up. And so I like long walks on the beach.
Hold on, wait a minute. What's going on? We love it. Hey, it's all
y'all
love.
Here.
I love here on the Doc Chat. We're so excited to have you all. Dr. Janice Linton, you're here on the Doc Chat. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hey, good evening. I'm Dr. Janice Linton. I always begin with I'm wife and mother first, and then my vocation, I am a palliative care nurse practitioner, and my day job, academia, teaching graduate students and encouraging all the graduate students that I encounter to advance to their DNP because it was life-changing for me. So welcome.
We love it. We love it. Dr. Dwayne, Alleyne, we appreciate you being on the Doc Chat. Holla at the people. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure being here, especially with wonderful colleagues. I work full time as a clinical assistant professor at the University of South Carolina. I teach undergrad, and I primarily teach the graduate students in the acute care program. I also work PRN as a hospitalist at a local hospital. So I like to keep my hands dirty while spreading knowledge and making sure we get some high quality nurse practitioners out of nursing school.
We absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. If you do not know, the DMPs of Color are in the house and they have a great conference upcoming. Make sure you check out their conference link that is in October. I'm telling you right now, you need to make sure you're there because they are going to set Washington, D.C. on fire. And I'm so excited for the work that they have coming up. So we are going to give love to Dr. Danielle McCamey. And I'm telling y'all, I can't even post all these comments y'all posting. Keep on coming. I love it. I love that y'all here, y'all in the building. Let us know where you're at in the country. That would mean a lot to us, even in the world, because we know DMPs are international. They're doing big things. So we're going to give it to Dr. Danielle McCamey. So how we doing the Doc Chat? We want to know how you become a DMP, how you become a doctor. So we're going to give it to her. Just start off. What made you say, I'm going the DMP route?
Well, my DNP story, I was never a believer. I was not trying to go back to get my doctorate. I was cool with being an acute care nurse practitioner in the ICU, saving lives, taking names. And it wasn't until one of my mentors on a night shift, shout out to Dr. Bim Akintade, that was like, you need to go back and get your doctorate. And I was like, why? I'm over here killing the game, saving lives. I'm comfortable in my craft right now. And she was like, well, there's tremendous value to getting your doctorate degree. And so, long story short, I ended up taking the plunge because I ended up getting offered a scholarship. So I said, who am I to deny you to pay my way to get a doctorate degree?
That's right. No, that's right. That's awesome. Dr. Linton, what about you? Why go the DNP route?
So I always want to stay ahead of the curve. And when I went to grad school for the adult nurse practitioner, I heard, you know what, that's the route we're gonna take. We're gonna go the DNP. And I was just like, yeah, it's not gonna make me any more money because we're not a charity. We have to keep the roof and live the best life. And I have a dad that's ex-military, and he would come to graduations and just whisper in my ear, the mission is not complete. I need to come to another one.
Nice.
Birthday cards, he would put in the birthday card, happy birthday, but the mission is not complete. And so to stay ahead of that curve, it was same thing. Somebody in the ICU who would just come see me and just watch how dynamic I was in the ICU, taking report, asking questions of the physicians. She's like, what are you doing with all this talent and brilliance? You need to go back to school. I saw all the barriers. I don't want to do the GRE. I don't believe in debt for education. I just can't see myself paying those crazy tuition. All the barriers. And then she kept on me. She's like, okay, well, now you don't need the GRE. Have you checked out this institution or that institution? And so I decided, you know what? No more barriers. Let me apply. Got in, and it's just been. My sister says it to me all the time. You speak a different language ever since you became a DNP. And so it's just being out here and, representing the profession for myself, my kids. It's the route that we should all take.
I love it. I love it. Hey, we got folks from all over the country shooting out where they at. We appreciate you. Hey, Dr. Patterson, we're already calling you Dr. Patterson because that's who you are. We appreciate you. And my good friend, Dr. Whitty, always tuning in. We appreciate you, my guy. Dr. Wayne, what about you? And we all know the statistics. There's not many of us men on that nursing platform. So why go do it? Why go do it?
So I was against the DNP as I got my master's degree, acute care nurse practitioner certification in 2008. And at that time, University of South Carolina was just starting the DNP program. And I spoke to I remember talking to the dean at that time, and when I asked her about it, she told me it's more research. I said, no, more research. I said, I'm not doing that. So I kind of had a lot of disdain for the degree for 10 years. It was until I was a clinical faculty where I took in students at my job. I worked at a hospital, and I took in a student, and I noticed one of the students was really struggling, and they were in their last semester. I said, I got to do something about this. This is terrible. Our students are going through the program. They're in the last semester. They're not even prepared to be a nurse practitioner. Instead of complaining, I'm going to do something. I'm going to get my doctorate. And that was the best decision I ever made. I just got my doctorate in 2020. And ever since then, the doors have been open. Opportunities I never thought of opened up for me, being part of DNPs of Color. I've been doing a lot of talks. I've been advocating for Black male nurses to, come into the leadership role into nursing and see what nursing has to offer, because there's a lot you have it has a lot to offer the doctorate degree. But you have to. The DNP does not make you. You have to make the DNP. So that's a big thing to follow.
That's nice. I love it. I love it. Hey, all y'all folks tuning in, if you say you're almost done, we need you to be a part of that virtual graduation. I checked it out a couple weeks ago, and it was phenomenal. We want to make sure doctors get your due, get your love, get your appreciation, and the DNPs of Color do it right, and you deserve that. So if you get your DNP done, Make sure you check out that link. Make sure you sign up for that virtual graduation. I'm telling you, you get to put on your regalia and get recognized in an incredible way. I'm telling you, it is fire. Absolutely fire. Absolutely love it. So now let's get into the program, the DNP program, because I think a question we get a lot of times on the doc chat is, okay, so what is it getting a DNP? So we're going to start with Dr. Danielle and kind of tell us, what is it going in? Did you have to take GRE? What do the letters look like? And then once you get into the program, what type of classes are you taking? I think that's a key part.
Yeah, definitely. So for those that don't know what DNP stands for, it stands for Doctor of Nursing Practice. It is a clinical doctorate terminal degree, which means that we are educated at the highest level in nursing practice. And so with that, the degree was designed for those that are still desiring to be in that clinical practice space. And a large part of our education is within translational science, organizational systems, policies, procedures, and leadership. And so with the DNP, a bulk of our education is structured so that they groom us to be the next leaders, because the way nursing is structured, when you have your doctorate, you get a lot of access to different networks, seats at different tables, and it's highly respected because people are like, oh, okay, you got your doctorate, you got your terminal degree. And so it affords us a certain level of power, prestige, and distinction, which really makes our organization extremely unique because we're literally pooling all this amazing talent of folks that are located from at the bedside, the boardroom, in the C-suites, in the academic spaces. So we really cover a wide variety of areas in nursing. And the unique thing about the DNP is that it allows us to have more versatility because I'm a little bit biased in my opinion, because a lot of us are still practicing in nursing. So we have a good sense of what the current issues are, and the way we're educated from leadership and understanding evidence-based practice, we're able to see the different structures and how to maneuver, so we can kind of fuse the clinician mindset and then also the scholarly mindset and create this wonderful synergy of knowledge to really help advance health equity and close some of these gaps in healthcare.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. They already coming with the questions. I know y'all got the answers. Is this a yes? I'm assuming this is a yes. Of course, you can be a part of the virtual graduation. This is any time leading up. That is exactly what they want.
Come on now.
Yes, definitely. And of course, they already asked, and how could I be a member of this great organization? So we're going to go to the great Dr. Linton. How can they be a part of DNPs of color? And where did all this fun start? Like, this is an incredible organization. How did this come about, and how can people be a member?
So membership is still in the background. We're working on it so that we can deliver the best product, because there are many organizations out there, right, that you can pay dues and get a journal. We want to be more than paying dues and getting a journal. We want to be, and we are, in terms of the space of people of color, the leading organization right now. There's no other space. Our first virtual conference, I remember people emailing me to say, wait, there are more of you out there? Like, there's other, like, wait, there, yes. So this is Danielle's dream, because she was functioning in a space where there was one or two. Every time somebody emails her to say, why do we have DNPs of color when other organizations can't say we have of white? And we're like, no, because that's the standard. I send her pictures often of my son, who is in a public school system, and many of those pictures, he's the only kid.
Yeah.
In his advanced classes, I'm like, Matt, no, he's the only one. And I say to her every time, when people ask you this, feel free to share the picture of my child. This is why we need that space. And so membership, just keep participating, get to our website, come to the conference. We'll be talking more about membership then. Make sure you register. We'll be in DC, great city. easy access on a flight. So be there. And when I met Daniel and became part of DNPs of Color, it is a space where I tell people my soul smiles. Everybody deserves a space like that, where your soul just goes, yes, I feel good here. And more to come about membership at the conference.
For sure. For sure. We love it. We love it. Dr. Rise, I appreciate you saying Richmond, Virginia needs to see these doctors. Man, I'm down in Richmond. I mean, you can see me, but they want to see the DMPs of color. I'm telling you, they are there. They're everywhere. And I love when y'all put that on y'all. I'm telling you, that's a hashtag on the t-shirt. Y'all need to put that. DMPs of color are everywhere. They are everywhere. And I love the work you all are doing. So we're going to go to the great Dr. Dwayne. So tell me about you coming through your program. What tips would you start to give folks if they want to do this route that they should know going to get that DMP?
Okay, yeah. So I have some key tips because I'm a DMP chair. I've seen two. I've seen two of my students graduate, and I'm currently have one student I'm trying to get through to um, do their final defense. So one thing I always tell my student is make sure you have a feasible project, meaning everyone usually comes with a great idea, and one of the things first things we have to do is come up with a PICO, or which is a problem that we can solve in a certain amount of time. But the problem is that no matter how great and how verbose that PICO is, or that problem is, that it's going to it can essentially be useless if you don't have a site. So one of the things I tell students is make sure your project is feasible and you have a site. Ideally, the site should be at where you work because you have the stakeholders, you know people that can collect the data for you, you know people that can push your intervention, you know the ins and outs of the hospital, you know potential problems you may face. So make sure the project is feasible. You have somebody that can collect the data for you. You have people that will support you going through the project. That way you can see it through. Also, I tell them be aware that your project, as you progress through your project, you may have to change it. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It's okay to pivot. You just pivot and kind of do the best you can in order to get it to the finish line. So just be aware of those key issues.
I mean, that's news to me because that's why we have the doc chat here, because we want to know how people can get through it. And you're talking to people who got through right here. Great organization, doing great work. I'm telling you, yes, we do love how they're paying it forward. This is how you do it. We absolutely love it. Hey, this is your man, Dr. John C. Turner, aka the Professor JT, here with Dr. Danielle McCamey, Dr. Janice Linton, and Dr. Dwayne Alleyne, DMPs of color. And y'all are showing them so much love. Thank y'all so very much. Hey, we're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on LinkedIn. We're streaming on YouTube. We're all over the place right now. Man, they're going to have us on Threads pretty soon. And if you don't know about it, now you know. I'm telling you, we are having a blast. So let's show some love to these great doctors. Continue to show it. There's also one we got to make sure we show love to today. I need y'all to tell me who is this lady right here.
Hey, that's Dr. Tina Gillis, our vice president and my bestie. This is a picture of us in Louisiana 2 weeks ago at the American Association of Nurse Practitioners conference.
We love it. We love it.
And
Shout out
she
to
is
her.
to Nigeria, so shout out to her. Safe travels.
Yeah, we are jealous right now. I'm telling you, we are jealous. But we had to show her some love. We had to shout her out for sure. Doing great work. So back to Dr. McCamey before we kind of roll into our fun part of the show. Right now, where do you see the conference going in October? Let's give that plug right now since we got so many people tuned in. Tell us about DMPs of Color 2023 conference.
Yeah, so if you haven't been to our conference, you have really missed out. Our first one was virtual. It was dope. We had over 200 folks. I was only expecting 60 people. Our second one, we did a hybrid here in Baltimore. That's where I'm representing right now. It was pretty awesome at the African American Museum. So 2023, everyone said that they liked the fusing of conferencing and culture. So we're going to bring our conference October 19th through the 22nd at the National American Indian Museum. It's going to be so dope. We're going to start off with a mix and mingle on that Thursday, October 19th at the Hilton, DC at the Wharf from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. We're going to have heavy hors d'oeuvres. We're going to have a little DJ, little mix, little mingle, little two-step. And then we'll get the education popping on Friday and Saturday. The conference will be held at the museum. And then on Saturday night, we'll be hosting our second annual Mary Eliza Mahoney Award and Scholarship Gala. We also will be hosting the Mimi Awards, which was founded by Dr. Pierce McDaniel. So shout out to her for that distinguished awards that we'll be hosting. And we're going to have some dancing. We're going to have some little toasting to our accomplishments and just really have an excellent time. Our also for the conference, our keynote will be Rear Admiral Aisha Mix. She is currently the U.S. Public Health Chief Nursing Officer, which means she is the CNO of the United States. So we're really hyped about that. And it's just going to be a ton of fun. Because we're going to be at the Native American Museum, we're going to have some performances from some indigenous folks. We're going to have poetry. We're going to have lots of education. It's going to be really dope. So we definitely want to see you there October 19th through the 22nd.
Awesome. Dr. Linton. And also, Dr. Linton, we hear a little bit of accent there. They want to know where you're from here on the Doc Check.
I'm sure many have guessed it. I'm originally from Jamaica. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
I'm from the place where excellence is expected but rarely celebrated.
Ooh.
And so when I come here, I came here later on in life at 20 something years old. And when you walk into spaces, I walk in the space because I came from a place of excellence. It's expected of me. So no space belongs to any particular ethnicity or group of people. You're bright, you go to the best institution, you get supported. And I have the same mindset for my kids. So I was a little surprised when I started noticing, this is not the expectation. But I decided that I must make it the expectation.
We love it. All right, let's get into our fun part of the show. This gentleman right here has done his thing.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know what it was finally putting on the tam, putting on the robe, getting hooded. What did finally getting that DNP mean? And you actually are working at the institution that you graduated from. So what does it mean to be right back there and showing love to those students?
It feels good that I can give back. Unfortunately, I couldn't be hooded because of COVID. So we did not have a ceremony. So I truly was able to celebrate my doctoral degree when I hooded my first two students that I was chair of. And that was this past May. So that was truly had some meaning for me. So I do I'm learning every day in this institution. I see the impact of me being just a Black male, how students come up to me and say, hey, you're the first African-American professor I ever had in nursing school. And now I'm motivated to do well, especially in the undergrad. I see students come up to me. They appreciate my presence. So my presence has impact. So I kind of utilize that to continue to inspire students. Say, hey, you can get to my level. You may face challenges, but that's okay. If you want to be a nurse, be a nurse. If you want to be a nurse practitioner, be a nurse practitioner. You can be delayed, but don't let yourself be denied. So that's how I kind of feed that into them.
We love it. Let's keep it moving. We have this amazing doctor from Jamaica. Tell us what it was for you, Dr. Linton, to get to that doctorate finish line.
So for me, it was family, right? Recognizing family and everything instilled, Caribbean people, we know the influence of a grandmother, a praying grandmother. And it was to accomplish this, sharing it with my boys at the time. They were 6 and 8. People ask me, how were you able to do this? I had a mother who finished her career early, retired, came here to support the boys so that I could have DNP Central in my house 24 hours a day. And so those are the little ones there. And my sister, like I said, shout out to her, excellent role model. She's a pediatric dental surgeon. And that's our moment together. We call ourselves Team Too Much because ambition can bite you sometimes because you just want that next level.
Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. We love it. We love it. And definitely last but not least, this woman is hilarious. Dr. McCamey, get into that finish line.
Y'all better peep my gangster.
And of course, doing it pretty much in your backyard, right here, Georgetown. Tell me what it was to get to that finish line.
Yes, Hoya Saxa. Shout out to Georgetown that's in the chat. I see one of my former professors, Dr. Maureen McLaughlin. Good to see you. Thanks for always supporting. But my story, I was the only Black woman in my cohort at Georgetown. And I felt supported, but I also felt isolated, alone. And that's why I created DMPs of Color, because I didn't have that community that understood my lived experience that I brought to the classroom, and having that community of inspiration and support when stuff got hard, when my family didn't understand why the edits, the red track changes on my dissertation was cause of tears and stress and headache and heartache. And just having that, the group of folks that all you can do is you just do the head nod and people already know what's already said with no words. So but I felt like I did get a valuable education. My project was dope. And, going to Georgetown, the name is great. But in terms of my journey, like I wouldn't change anything because it afforded me the opportunity to create such an amazing organization of DMPs of Color that has filled a tremendous gap in nursing. And when I think about our future, I just get so hyped because there's no other organization that is supporting one of the fastest growing doctorate degrees in nursing like DMPs of Color. And then you add the melanin on top of it, it just adds the magic and the lived experience that creates such a dynamic, rich organization that's very powerful. And then you add on those degrees and the years of experience and the power that we bring just by existing. And there's lots of literature that shows that just by a person of color being in the room literally saves lives. Yeah. And so it's so awesome to be at the helm leading this group. I get so much love and so much support and constant confirmation that we are on the right track. We are here to change the game, forge new paths, calling all game changers and trailblazers, because we're really doing the work. We understand the work. And we show up and we show out as evidence as tonight. So shout out to all the docs that are representing, and excited to be here with you all and share our stories.
We love it. We absolutely love it. This is your man, Dr. John C. Turner, the Professor JT with the DMPs of Color. And I'm telling you right now, we have had a phenomenal show. Everybody tuning in, thank y'all so much. Everybody leaving comments, thank y'all so much, because I'm telling you, we are here to celebrate you, the doctors of nursing practice, and it's incredible. So we're going to go to Dr. Linton, because now I want to make sure people get an understanding of what's happening right now, what's been happening since COVID. Why is nursing such a big profession right now? And why should somebody consider possibly getting that DNP to do more work in a time where we know statistics, we know the stress, we know the overwork, but why is it so important for nurses to get the support right now? And what would you tell these nurses that are doing this work?
So I will tell these nurses that not because something is broken means all things are broken. Because sometimes it's tough to walk into a setting where you're hearing, this is bad, we're short staffed, go and have the impact that you were created to have, because for our profession, from the womb to the tomb, we're there to be impactful. For the nurse with the DNP, just think of your role as the direct care RN who was the charge nurse. So that was your clinical focus or function and leadership. The DNP prepares you to advance that role because now you're knowledgeable. Now you have credibility at the table to say, no, we can't send this patient home in that setting because it's unsafe. And I know that because I spoke to them. I sat at the bedside for 12 hours. Which other profession do we get that? Where we walk the clinical course with patients at their most vulnerable time? It's nursing. We see them rally, we see them fall, and we're there to support. So I will remind people, not because one thing is broken or several things are broken, which means we should see all things being broken and go and have an impact where you can. It will be lasting and far-reaching.
I love that. I love that. Dr. McCamey, same question, because right now, where healthcare as a whole is headed, knowing where it just came from in the past 3 years, why is nursing so important? Why are DNPs so important? And what would you tell these nurses out here in support to help them get through what's all going on?
I mean, nursing, we're the backbone of healthcare. There's over 4 million of us out here in these streets. And so there's lots of power in that. And like Dr. Janice said, like, we're at the bedside, we're taking care of folks at their vulnerable moments. And having your doctorate degree is important because of the ability for you to surpass some of the structures that exclude, some of the structures that are obstacles and barriers. And going through that schooling, you learn how to maneuver and strategize so that you can get the work done. And a lot of the work needs to be tackled at the structures, at the policies, at the procedures, at the helm where the decisions are being made at the table. And so having this degree gives you access to that. It may not be immediate, but eventually you will. And leveraging our community like DNPs of color, it gives you that power in that network. As we all know, your net worth is correlated to your net worth. And so really leveraging that. And I mean, our mission pillars are networking, mentorship, and advocacy. So we know networking is net worth. We know advocacy is amplifying our voice, amplifying our issues, closing those gaps, leveraging our positions and our mission to advance nursing. And then we all know mentorship is the key to success. So really capitalizing on the group mentoring that goes on in our group, and then the mentorship programs that we are developing as we continue to grow. But getting back to the question, nursing is the cornerstone of healthcare. There is so much strength in numbers, and capitalizing on having this advanced degree, we can really meet some of those needs that COVID exposed, because we have that versatility and understanding clinical practice in real time and how to come up with the quality improvement, performance improvement, and evidence-based practice, translational science to make those changes in real time. So DNP all day, baby. And we got a big cup of Kool-Aid over here. So if you want a cup, we got plenty to pour out.
We love it. We love it. So let's go to where we find you all, how people can get involved. We got the website up here. Of course, it's dnpsofcolor.org. Dr. McCamey, tell me a little bit more about the website, and let's kind of dive into this and see where folks can get all the things DNP of color going.
Yeah, so we are real big on the brand. So everything is DNPs of color. So you can Google the website is dnpsofcolor.org. Our social media handles are DNPs of color. We got the Zoom background. We got the lapel pins. So if you go to our website, you can peep our mission. You can also peep our team. So we have an amazing board of directors that just got installed a couple months back. We also have an amazing advisory board, which is essentially our think tank. So shout out to our advisory board. There's our team. And then on our site, you can go to opportunities where you can sign up for one of our 6 committees. That's our phase 1 of our membership strategy. We really want to focus on building the community to help advance some of our mission through some of the committee work. And then obviously, y'all know we're a nonprofit, so we're going to need some dollars. So donate. There's opportunities to get a scholarship in your name at the conference if you drop some dollars. And then also you can peep our news and events, because we are always in the news. and we always have some events popping. And then if you want to get your swag on, we have a doc shop. So please get some merch. And then last but not least, our conference page. We really want to fill up that space in DC. Um, the price is affordable. We do have conference scholarships available if you have that need for that type of support. And we need sponsors. If you're a small business, big business, your mom and them, your daddy and them, everybody in them, we would love to have your support. As we all know, no money, no mission. But also, if you believe in the mission of us really advancing health equity, really diversifying the workforce, diversifying doctoral practice, and really creating a space for this growing body of nursing professionals, we definitely want your support. We want your name on all of our stuff, and we want you in the building. So October 19th through the 22nd, Washington, D.C., come holla at us, please.
We love it. We love it. Dr. Dwayne, give us some tips and all those things about the conference, about DNPs of color, and why Black men should be a part of this.
Well, like I said before, it's a rarity. There's not a lot of Black men. I see a lot of Black nurses, but I can tell you, I've been in my program since 2018. I only seen one advanced practice registered nurse.
Wow.
That's a male, only one male. So I don't know where they are. I've done, I did inquire about it, and some of the answers I received is that they don't feel like they're good enough, or they feel like it's a waste of time. But if they only knew how needed we are and how the impact that we make on people that look like us. There's always a challenge. As I can say, as a Black male, wherever every job I've been at, I've been challenged and faced discrimination or some type of subtle racism, or made to feel like I'm not good enough, and I had to climb over that mountain and say, show improve. I don't get upset. I don't get nasty. I just show improve and say, yeah, I'm intelligent. I can do what you can do, and I can do it better. So I just have to maintain peace and do not let them put me down. I just kind of rise above all the challenges and the hate that I would receive. Yeah, but it's very tough. DNPs of color did empower me, and it gives me a place to be effective in inspiring others that look like me as well. So this is a good space to be in to help. It's not just about Black and white people getting together. It's about building up a marginalized community and showing them that they have the power and inspiration to be a part of nursing excellence, and they can do whatever they put their mind to. It doesn't matter, and no matter what people say we can or cannot do, or whatever things we face, we show them and we tell them. And this is what DNPs of color is about.
We love that. I love that. Dr. Linton, being international yourself, it gets to a point where sometimes folks might say, well, yeah, but are you a real doctor? How do you combat that? And what do you tell folks about what does it mean to be a DNP, especially in that healthcare profession, when a lot of times people, they're going to try you. And I know they're not going to try you too hard because you from Jamaica and you ain't playing no games. You know what I'm saying?
So I usually, people don't like follow-up questions. So my thing, I'm a palliative care practitioner. Well, one of the things that we are trained in is skill communication. So when somebody asks, are you a real doctor? I ask them to define what a real doctor is. Because doctor is a title that doesn't belong to any one particular discipline. Sadly, we have created that narrative, or they have created that narrative where it belongs to a physician, or it doesn't. It's delivering excellence. And so when somebody would try, if that's what they want to use, I deliver excellence. I deliver excellent care to the patients who deserve it. So it's going to be shown in my work. So one of the things I want to tell people here about their DNP, do it in something where you're passionate, because then it won't feel like this mountain. Mm-hmm. Reading as well. A person who reads will write well, because the DNP is a writing degree. So if writing is not better start reading so you can write. Palliative care is my passion. So that's where that was what my project was. And I was able to even educate my DNP chair, so much so that we still have a long-standing relationship. So deliver excellence and people will come to respect you and not just respect the title.
We love that. Absolutely love it. We appreciate everybody once again just for tuning in. All the amazing comments, all the amazing support with this great organization and work that you all are doing. Definitely, we know it is needed, and we just want to make sure we're supporting you all in every way possible. As we have just a few minutes left, but we want to make sure we continue with this conversation because right now I think the point that needs to be made, and we want to hear it from you great doctors, is what's next in the nursing profession? Where do you all see it going? And I really want this from the heart. If you could talk to that undergrad about going into nursing, getting past those classes that y'all remember back in the day was hard as all get out. What would you tell them when it comes to this is why you're needed in nursing because this is where the profession is going in the future? And we'll start with Dr. McCamey.
I mean, nursing has always been transformative. It's always been innovative. It's always met the needs when the needs of the world and healthcare needed most. And I think that was underscored during the pandemic. And I think that's only going to continue to deepen. And then also with the integration of technology in hopes of helping to alleviate some of the things that we can make more efficient so we can really get back to caring of people where they are in their most vulnerable moments and helping them get well. So I'm excited about the future of nursing. I have the distinct pleasure and honor to be at Johns Hopkins educating the future of nursing, and the energy within this group of nurses is around advocacy and health equity. They are really challenging us as professors at our institution to really empower them to be focused on how to make substantive changes in policies and procedures to help advance some of the issues that we have, not only in the profession, but also in healthcare and just in general. So I'm really excited about the energy of the next generation of nurses. I think that we'll be in good hands.
So, Dr. Dwayne, where's nursing going? You being there, getting these students hooded, getting these students through, where do you see nursing going here in the next few years?
Well, hopefully we'll continue to increase diversity representation. I have a passion for what we call the pipeline to encourage those undergraduates to be empowered and feel like they have the same opportunities that are offered to others within the nursing profession. A lot of them feel discouraged because they don't have the capacity or the options or the opportunities that others have within a nursing program, especially the prestige nursing programs. So my goal is to empower them and say, hey, you can do this. You don't be intimidated because you're not the top of the class or you don't have the A's. Keep pressing because you eventually will get to that level where you need to be. And I tell them that, hey, I went through challenges. It wasn't easy for me. I had to persevere and I kept pressing. So I always kind of close my door, kind of give them that pep talk and encourage them, say, hey, you're going to go through this. It's okay. Don't let people stop you. Don't let them decide you can do something else. Because I was told, hey, you're struggling. Maybe you should work at a gas station. Maybe you should consider another job. Maybe you could consider that. This is probably too much for you. I said, nope. So not only I persevered, I ended up being one of the top students in my nursing class because of that. So you won't stop me. You'll just elevate me. So I kind of trying to put that attitude in the students that see me or that I impact at my university.
Nice. We love that. Love that. And Dr. Linton, same question. Where's nursing headed? And what would you tell those students looking to go into nursing about why they should go into this profession?
So I am the product of mentorship and nurturing. And so nursing is heading where we nurture and mentor the future generation, right? Because if we can't discourage and then have high expectation. The generation categorize them how we Gen Z, Gen X, they bring gifts and talents, because in our times we brought gifts and talents that the generation ahead of us couldn't appreciate then. But look at computer orderized entry. That was something that we were on because we were already tech. So the generation ahead, the future is bright. We need to nurture it. I always tell people I started my journey as an LPN and walk through all the facets of nursing. My dad had a philosophy, he still does. He who has the goal makes the rules. And his rule was, this is the path you take because I'm helping to pay for it. And I walked that journey, learned, and was able to grow. But I'm telling you, mentorship and nurturing is paramount to the success of the future generation.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Hey, I'm absolutely loving everything about this panel. Everybody tuning in, all the great commenters. I'm telling you right now, we still got a little more time. And I'm your man, the Professor JT. I got more questions. So I'm excited about it before we wrap up. So one more I do have, and I think this is very important, going in the direction that DNPs are going. What do we tell Black and brown people about going to the doctor, going to the hospital? And as DNPs are there, what should we be saying to DNPs when we get there as patients? Are there things we should come with knowledge about before we meet with DNPs? Because we know you're not medical doctors, but what is the DNP going to do for that person going to the doctor, especially somebody from a Black and brown background? I'm going to start with Dr. McCamey.
Well, I think I always tell folks when they are in a predicament and needing healthcare that they always have to advocate for themselves. And if they can't advocate for themselves, make sure they have folks that they can call to help advocate for them. There's nothing specific that you have to bring to speak to a DNP prepared practitioner. We're all educated at the top of our scope, and depending on what your ailment is, depends on what your request might be. But I do know from my experience, from my practice, advanced practice is rooted in nursing, which is around care of the person. And so we tend to have that lens of seeing the person first before their illness and really trying to get to the root of what support that they might need and how we can help them feel better.
Okay. Dr. Dwayne, how do you get Black men to come to the doctor? How do you get us to go to the hospital, get checked out?
So that's a challenge within itself, because we Black men tend to be stubborn and we don't go to the hospital until we're half dead or dying. So the best thing to do is when I see the Black men in the hospital, since I work in the hospital setting, common thing I see is diabetic ketoacidosis, and that's the first time they find out they have diabetes. So I sit there and have a talk. I say, listen, I make sure if their wife or spouse is present or family member is present, I say, listen, we are high risk for heart attacks, strokes, diabetes. We get our foot chopped off because we don't take, and kidney disease, hypertension.
Yeah.
I say, you don't want to be that. And I show them a very sick patient. I say, you don't want to be that patient across the hallway. You got to take care of yourself. Show up at the doctor. I remember showing up at the doctor when I was going to the physician when I was in my 20s, and I found out I had high cholesterol, and it was familial cholesterol. So no matter how healthy I ate, my cholesterol lipid levels were through the roof. So I have to take 2 medications just to do it. But if I didn't just do a routine checkup because I was feeling fine, I probably would have had a stroke by now. But just my lipid levels were astronomical. So I always encourage them, even though you feel better, you don't feel bad. You want to, kind of give that macho talk. I know you want to be tough and taking care of your family. I say, hey, if you want to be around for a while, this is more preventative medicine. I did hear somebody one time when I was waiting at a cardiologist's office saying, I'm not going to take this statin. I don't need it. I just can eat whatever I want. And so that's kind of sad to hear. So we still kind of stubborn, but we just got to keep pressing and start educating early. And then especially about foods and diets, special diets, people don't understand, particularly how carbohydrates can increase their cholesterol level. They think it's just eating fatty foods, but carbohydrates, breads and stuff can increase their cholesterol as well. So kind of keep educating them and teach them about the worst case scenario and tell them the importance of their presence in their families' lives, in their community as well, so they can understand and maintain their healthy living.
Would love that. I appreciate that. And Dr. Linton, finish out with you. How can we make sure that the women of color are getting the right treatment? As we're starting to see in the news and lots of articles coming out, especially when it comes to births and healthcare. I think about Sean Puffy Combs' baby mother that passed away, and she said she went to the hospital several times. Nobody treated her what she knew what was wrong with her. She ended up passing away. And this is happening very often with women of color. What would you tell women of color about making sure they're getting the right support and the right help so they can make sure their health is in order?
So it's interesting that you say that, because my sister had some incidents, and she's a dentist, but I'm in general medicine, and she would call me and I said to her, you don't pay insurance premiums for people to speak to you like that, and please let them know that. Like, no, you're getting paid to deliver care. What I will say is, an informed patient is an empowered patient. So it's for us to create this safe space and provide them with information. I always tell patients, have 2 top questions to ask the doctor, because sometimes when you ask providers some things in a particular manner, you frame it, you phrase it, they're stunned, especially because they're not expecting you to know this, right? Well, no, I'm aware that this is so. Can you provide me some further insight? So information in a space where they're comfortable. It's funny, I would have conversations with patients, and I'm on a team where I was the only Black provider there. And if it's a Black family, they would pull me back by the lab coat when everybody else walks through the door and ask me, are they telling me the truth? Is it the truth? And so I have to own that I bring survival to them. We all do. As providers, as Black faces, we bring survival. So for even Serena Williams, who knew she had a PE and was trying to get help, I teach my sons now, every time you go to the doctor, routine wellness check. What questions? As I'm driving with them, I give them the gift of empowerment. What questions will you have for the doctor? Start learning from now, because that's what we're here for. So inform, empowered. That's our role as DNP practitioners, as advanced practitioners for our people, because we're not there 24 hours. Give them information, arm them with information so they feel empowered.
That's powerful. Absolutely powerful. I'm telling you right now, we're here on the Dot Chat, folks, with your man, Dr. John C. Turner, aka the Professor JT, Dr. McCamey, Dr. Linton, Dr. Alleyne have provided more probably healthcare tips than I've gotten in a long time. So I appreciate it very, very much. And that's what they do. They're doctors, nurse practice, DNPs, and this is the DNP of Color organization. I thank you all so much for these comments rolling in. I mean, I'm telling you, y'all got folks all over, just incredible knowledge that they're sharing, even in the chat. Thank you all so much. And I'm telling y'all, we might have to bring them back. Yeah, we might have to bring them back before the conference just to make sure we get them numbers just right. Because I'm telling you, we're on so many platforms right now. Nobody's going to miss this. And we don't want people to miss it, because we want to make sure the world knows that DNPs of color are everywhere. So as we prepare to wrap up, we're going to give it to the good old president, and we're going to ask her to let us know where she is, of course, where DNPs of color can be found, where people can go and become members. Also, one tip you will give to DNPs of color to stay encouraged in this time. The stage is yours.
Yes, absolutely. So, y'all, my parting wisdom is make sure you find a mentor. You need to have at least 3. You need to have a personal mentor that's your day to day. You need to have a mentor that's helping you with your strategy, with your profession, whether that be your next move for education, your next move for promotion. And then you need to have your pie in the sky hashtag goals mentor. You got to have your entourage of 3 to start off with. Mentors are literally the keys to success in everything, in all different phases and parts of your life. Get you your entourage today. In terms of DMPs of color, we're everywhere. I mean, Google us. We're accessible. We are growing exponentially. As mentioned, we are moving toward a membership model, which will be launched by the end of the year. We understand the value in having our structure be in a traditional membership because it adds the credibility and continues to amplify our voices and empower us as a profession and as an organization. So really excited for us to make that transition. But in the meantime, we got a lot of work to do. So we got some committees. We got 6 committees that you can join right now to volunteer your time, talent, dollars, efforts, energy. So let us know. Conference is coming up. We will need volunteers if you're interested in that as well. But most importantly, we want to see you out there. We've got a ton of wonderful educational offerings to empower you and also to inspire you, because a lot of the speakers will be DMP prepared of color. And it's just going to be a good time to be with each other. So we look forward to connecting with you. We're so excited that you all showed up and showed out tonight. That's what y'all do. I get hyped every time. I just feel like, well, it's going to be like 10 people. I look at the RSVP. We like over 200 people RSVP to this event tonight. So it's just such a heartwarming, soul hugging experience to know that y'all got us, y'all got our back, and that y'all are showing up, showing out, and in the building. So we love that you're everywhere, and we're excited to share some time with you all tonight.
We love it. We love it. Dr. Linton, final tip for those great DMPs of color, and where can people find you?
Well, you can find me everywhere. On LinkedIn, I have quite a bit of people watching, so I appreciate those that support me and encourage me. And I'll say, never give up. Do not let people tell you you can't, because you can. There's a need for you. You need to be present. Get involved in leadership network and spaces, because you will make an impact no matter how small, how big. You don't have to be the top dog to make an impact. Get involved. That's the best thing I ever did. I used to be somebody that shy away and hide in the corner. Now I've been thrust into the spotlight thanks to Danielle, and it's been a wonderful ride. I want to get involved with anything. So get involved with your local chapter, get involved with your state chapter, get involved with your national chapter. You can make an impact one way or the other, and opportunities open up. You may be looking for something in one area, but you may see a door open up in that area and find out that you'll thrive in that space. So don't let, just because everything doesn't work out your way, don't let that stop you. Keep pushing and keep striving for excellence.
We love that. We love that. And yes, Dr. Linton, final words. How would you encourage the next group of DMPs and even the current DMPs, and where can people find you as well?
So you can find me on LinkedIn. It's my name, Dr. Janice Linton. I'm not the biggest social media user, but I also have a coaching and mentorship business. It's APLILLC.com, because I am the product of good mentorship. So I'm AP Learning LLC on Insta and on Facebook. I would say to the current, future, all of us here, that finding a mentor is important, but find people who believe in you, because sometimes it's the belief of other people that push you to realize, because potential is limitless. You just didn't know that until somebody who believes in you. I have a spouse who believes I'm the most brilliant. He's always believing I can do every and anything. And that has pushed me. So find people who truly believe in you. And the other thing I would say, read. There's a recommendation I'll leave with you. It's Outliers. It's Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers, The Story of Success. And you will see how the Bill Gates of the world, Steve Jobs lived down the street from Hewlett Packard, like from Mr. Hewlett. There's something called a cumulative advantage, where you're in the circle with these folks that propel you. So read Outliers, and it will just be eye-opening. Like, this is how this is done. Find people who believe in you.
That's excellent. Absolutely excellent. Dr. McCamey, Dr. Linton, Dr. Alleyne, these are your DMPs of color. They everywhere. And guess where they were tonight? They were right here on the Doc Chat Show with your man, Dr. John C. Turner, aka the Professor JT, Thank y'all so very much. Thank you for all the commenters. I'm telling you, we going back. We're going to look at these comments. We're going to like them. If you know somebody didn't see this, make sure you share this. And I'm telling you right now, dnpsofcolor.org. Make sure you're there. Make sure you're at the conference in October. So many great things going on and so much more to come. Thank y'all so much. And to everyone, we appreciate y'all. And until next time on the Doc Chat Show, peace out.